Alan's sister is going to take over our apartment.
Tracy is going to stay here?
Yeah, it was a spur-of-the-moment decision.
Well, I should think that she'd find poor Charles awfully boring after she's done as much traveling as she has. I mean, after all the stories that she tells.
Well, I don't know. I mean, she's going to work with Alan on the cardiac wing. He's showing her around the hospital right now.
Tracy wants to work?
Well, yeah, she says she really wants to do something to feel useful.
Oh.
Don't you believe her?
Well, let's just say that I found it kind of difficult to warm up to Tracy.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's because we come from totally different backgrounds, and I just think she's terribly spoiled. Look, I should not pass any judgments on her until I know her better.
Well, maybe it's a good thing she's staying here. I mean, we can maybe get to be friends, you know, and I'll have a whole family for once.
Sure.
Jesse, this is my sister Tracy. Tracy, this is Mrs. Brewer. Mrs. Brewer heads the nursing staff here at General Hospital.
Alan, we met at your wedding.
Oh, God.
Nice to see you again, Tracy.
It's my pleasure.
Tracy's going to be working with me on the new cardiac wing.
That's wonderful.
I've just taken her on a grand tour of the hospital.
What do you think of it?
I'm impressed. You know, hospitals have always been this big, mysterious part of my brother's life, so I'm sort of excited about the chance to share it with him.
Good. Well, any way I can help you, please let me know.
Thanks a lot.
Excuse me, Tracy. Hello, Leslie.
Oh, hello, Alan.
I just wanted to tell you how much I'm hoping that today will be the end of this ordeal for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Weber.
Yes?
Tracy Quartermain, Alan's sister.
Oh, how do you do? It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Will you excuse me just a minute?
Sure.
Well, my job gets more intriguing every minute.
What does that mean?
It's not every day you meet a lady doctor on the day that she's facing an indictment for murder. Is it?
Christine, move over. Be careful. You can't help worrying about children. But when I found...
Laura, you better get up or you're going to be late for work at the hospital. Weber residence.
Mom?
Oh, Heather, thank goodness it's you.
Who did you think it was?
Oh, this phone has been ringing off the hook this morning. Would you believe that one of those reporters had the nerve to come by here flashing pictures and asking questions of Dr. Weber? Oh, she was so terribly upset.
Listen, Mom, I just want to make sure that you have that letter from Mr. Wallace in a safe place.
Oh, sure, hon. It's locked in my drawer at home. You know the one I keep the important papers in? Susan saw it yesterday when you left it here, and she offered to bring it to you at the hospital, but I told her no, I'd keep it.
Well, she didn't open it, did she?
Oh, Heather, what a question. I mean, Susan wouldn't do a thing like that. I mean, it had your name on it.
Oh, I wouldn't put anything past Susan.
Oh, come on now. I feel sorry for her. I mean, the poor thing, you know, just going through that nasty divorce and being out here trying to make it on her own.
Oh, I don't feel sorry for her for a minute. And I certainly don't like the fact that she went to the wedding with Peter Taylor.
Heather, she didn't say that she went to the wedding with Peter Taylor. She said that she sat with him. I mean, and anyway, honey, it's none of your business.
Anything that threatens the Taylors threatens Stephen Lars, and Susan is a threat.
Heather, now I think you've gone a little crazy. Peter Taylor is a very happily married man, and you know it. Listen, I'm going to have to go now. I hear Laura moving around upstairs, and I got to get her breakfast before she comes down. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mom.
All right, how much longer do we have until...
I don't know, but when you go downstairs, you read downstairs. You hear me? You read them.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Monica.
Hi. You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, well, just be a minute. I'm going to take Tracy downstairs to my office, and she's going to start reading the fact sheets on the cardiac wing, okay?
Okay, fine. Why don't you do that, and I'll meet you in the parking lot.
Good. Okay.
Good luck today, Monica.
Thank you.
Oh, here it is.
Leslie? Yes. Hi.
Hello, Monica. I'm so terribly sorry that we didn't make it to your wedding.
Oh, listen, with everything that's been on your mind, I'm surprised you even remembered it.
Of course I did. I had wanted so much to be able to tell you that I wish you and Alan all the happiness in the world.
Well, thank you. I'm sure we'll have it. I'm going to the courthouse now. Leslie, look, I really hope that my testimony can help you and, well, just help you. You see, I still feel I'm to blame for all of this.
Oh, you mustn't. I've told you that now,
I know you have, but if I hadn't been so anxious to tell Rick what I knew about David, he wouldn't have called David. He wouldn't have gone over to his apartment. He wouldn't have gotten into that fight. And I am sure it was that fight that provoked David to make that attack on you. And Howard has asked me to stress that to the grand jury.
Monica, you have absolutely nothing in the world for which you should blame yourself. Everybody was taken in by David. You are the only one who saw through him.
No, it's really too bad. It's taken something like this to make me realize just how courageous you are.
Oh, I'm not. I'm so scared inside.
Well, I don't think I could have come into work today.
That's more selfish than courage.
What do you mean?
Well, work is the one thing that enables me to forget about all of this. Except it doesn't seem to be doing a very good job of that today because my thoughts keep going back to the courthouse. And I keep wondering what's going on there right now.
Just been there a long time.
Just seems long when you're waiting like this, Rick.
I'm praying that Richardson doesn't take that line of questioning down to the night that David tried to seduce Leslie the first time.
I hope so, too, but if Richard asks, Jeff has to tell the truth. He can't perjure himself.
I know that, but it makes it tougher on Leslie.
Look, Rick, this may seem foolish to you, but I want to go over again the thrust I want your testimony to take.
Let's do it.
All right. Whenever you answer Richardson, try to emphasize the fact David was devious.
I'll do that every chance he gives me.
All right, now look for every opportunity to impress the jury with the fact that David betrayed your friendship.
Yeah.
Okay? And bring up the shady deals whenever you can. How'd it go?
I feel like I've been through a meat grinder. And DA is one tough customer.
Did he ask you anything at all about the night you and Heather had dinner with Lesley and David?
Yeah, but not until the very end. He really made me sweat it out.
What did he ask you?
Well, he made a big deal about David drinking so much that night.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. We knew that Richardson had the information already. What else?
Well, he saved the best for last. The question that could really work against Leslie.
What was it, Jeff?
He asked me if Heather and I drove Leslie home that night. I had to tell him the truth, Howard. Leslie left with David.
Dr. Richard Weber?
Yeah.
They're ready for you now as the next witness.
Thank you.
Leslie, may I join you, or would you rather be alone?
No, oh, please, sit down. I welcome all diversions today.
Well, have you heard anything yet?
No. And it's almost 4, and I thought it would be over by now.
Have you heard anything from Rick?
Yeah, he called about half an hour ago when he finished testifying.
How'd it go?
About as he had expected. Mr. Richardson started off by being totally surprised that anyone could have been taken in by David as long as Rick was, which was fine because it gave Rick the chance to get into detail about the kind of person David was and exactly how he had betrayed their friendship, which was what Howard had wanted him to do.
Well, that's good. I mean, the jury heard firsthand just what kind of a man David was.
Yes, it did.
Had, Monica testified yet?
Oh, she was being questioned when Rick called, and she was the last witness.
I know she was a little nervous. I mean, she just hoped that anything she said would be very helpful for you.
I know that. We talked before she went to the courtroom.
You know, I was really pleased when Monica told me that the district attorney had decided not to call Laura today.
Oh, Gail, I was too. You can't know how pleased she's been. So frightened of that.
Well, I'm sure. You know, I saw Laura earlier today coming out of Peter's office.
Yes. She's seeing Peter professionally.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, I don't think there's any reason to keep it a big secret. She's an emotional girl. And David's death, coupled with the fact that, accident or not, I was the one who killed him, they were very traumatic for her.
Yes, of course, I can understand that. And I'm sure that Peter will be able to get her through this.
I hope so.
Dr. Weber, your husband's on the telephone.
Oh, thank you. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, of course.
Rick?
Leslie, hi, honey.
Hi. Is there any news?
No, Monica's just finished testifying, and Richardson's summing up his case.
Well, what does Howard think?
Darling, it's difficult for him to form any kind of opinion just from talking to the witnesses after they've testified. We're all pretty much in the dark right now.
I see.
Sweetheart, the minute the hearing's over, I'll come right home and I'll be with you.
Oh, I'd rather you stayed there. Wait until the jury makes a decision.
Howard says that could take hours. Now, he'll stay here and talk to Richardson and come to the house as soon as there's any news.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you sound exhausted.
I am.
Why don't you go home now?
I'm going to shortly. I think this has been the longest day of my whole life.
You keep one thing in your mind and never let go of it.
What is that?
That I love you very much.
I love you so.
All right, I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Les, are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Excuse me.
Scotty, I know you don't like to talk about it, but can't you just feel the tension in the air around here? I mean, it's like everybody's just holding their breaths, waiting to hear what the grand jury's going to decide.
Well, I'm not holding my breath because I can't see any reason the grand jury wouldn't believe Leslie.
Oh, Heather.
Oh, hi, Scotty. How are you?
Oh, okay. How's Laura?
Well, she's putting up a brave front, but I know that she's terribly concerned about her mother.
Well, look, will you tell her that I was asking about her? If there's anything I can do, be sure and let me know, okay?
Of course I will, Scotty. Look, I've got to go. I'll see you later.
Okay.
I heard that. And I am getting a little tired of your constant preoccupation with poor little Laura.
Yeah, well, I'm getting kind of tired of defending myself to you, so if you can't get used to it, maybe we ought to just stop seeing each other.
You know, I couldn't help overhearing that.
Jesse, I can't take it anymore. I mean, sometimes I think he cares more about Laura than he does about me.
I think you're wrong.
Well, I am
think you
getting
are
pretty
terribly
bored with the whole thing.
I think you're terribly wrong to disapprove of Scotty's friendship with Laura.
Oh, Jesse.
Oh, come on now. He's known Laura a lot longer than he's known you.
Well, you don't have to remind me about that. I get that from Scotty all the time, and it is a pretty one-sided friendship, if you ask me.
Why do you say that?
She treats him like dirt, and he keeps coming back for more all of the time.
You know, she's having difficulties. He wants to help her.
Well, it's not only Laura.
What else?
Well, sometimes Scotty's really sweet and warm with me the way he used to be, but more often than not lately, he's so distant.
Hey, you mind a small lecture? Just as Scotty is being understanding with Laura about her problems, why don't you try being understanding with him?
I am!
No, you're not. Not as long as you keep on backing him into a corner the way you're doing. Don't you realize he's worried to death about his father's battle with alcoholism?
Jesse, I am worried about that, too. If Mr. Baldwin loses any more clients, Scotty says it's going to be the end of his whole business.
Oh, Bobbie!
Well,
How'd it go, Monica?
Well, Howard, I tried to do everything you said. I mean, I explained to them about what I knew of David's criminal involvements, but they kept asking me questions about his friendship with Lesley.
And what did you say?
Well, I told him the truth. I said all I knew was that David Hamilton had lived with the Webbers while he was recuperating.
Well, that can't be much help to any kind of a case he's trying to build against Les.
I don't know, Jeff. He then wanted to know if I was aware of Lesley and David driving up together to Buffalo to pick Laura up.
How did that question come out?
Well, apparently, Laura told Detective Ramsey in her interview with her yesterday.
How did you answer that question, Monica?
I said I'd forgotten. If I ever knew about it in the first place, it just didn't seem important to me. Did I say the right thing, Howard?
Well, if you told the truth, you said the right thing.
I don't know. Listen, do you need me for anything else?
No, no. Thank you, Monica.
Well, then I guess I'll be going. Goodbye, Rick.
Thank you, Monica. Goodbye. Good night, Alan.
Good night. Give Lesley our best, will you?
Yes, I'll do that.
Goodbye, Howard. Jeff.
Good night, gentlemen.
Bye, Monica.
Jeff, why don't you go on? You don't have to stay.
Now, Rick, I'd like to stay if there's anything else I can do.
Thanks.
Lee.
Howard. Hi, Lee.
Oh, Rick.
I'm awfully glad to see you came down.
Well, I tried to get here earlier. Very concerned about Lesley. Want to see if there's any way I can help.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any news yet?
None.
Hey, Bert.
Oh, Mr. Baldwin, what are you doing here today? You have another case in the building?
No, Leslie Weber's a very close friend of mine. Listen, what's happening in there?
Well, District Attorney Richardson just finished and the jury's out deliberating.
Look, Rick, there's no way of knowing how long this is going to take. Why don't you go to Lesley and I'll get to you as soon as I have any news.
Oh, well, that's fine. I don't like the idea of her waiting alone anyway.
Good.
Lee? Howard?
Bye, Rick.
See you, Rick. Jeff, you got a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Good.
Say,
Yeah.
Off the record, Bert, how long do you think it's going to take the jury to come to a decision on this?
Well, you know, I really shouldn't say, but off the record, after listening to the DA's summation, I really don't think it's going to be long at all. Nice seeing you. Bye now.
Mr. Richardson.
Well, Mr. Lansing still holding down the fort, I see.
Yes, waiting for a decision, of course. And I'd like a copy of the transcript as soon as you have one.
Of course.
When do you think it'll be ready?
Oh, in a few hours. I'll see that you get a copy immediately. If you're not still here, I'll have it sent over to your club.
Thanks.
Well.
Hello, Jim.
Lee, how are you? It's good to see you
Good
again.
to see you.
Well, I understand you're a close family friend of the Webbers.
Yes, I am.
It's an interesting case. Very interesting.
Is the jury still deliberating, Jim?
Well, they're filing in right now. I might have some word for you in a few minutes. Lee, let's get together and have supper one night real soon, huh? It'll be good to talk over old times.
Fine, I'd like that,
Right.
Jim.
Well, what do you think, Lee? You know him pretty well.
Yeah. That's why I'm very concerned about the outcome of this hearing. That's why I'm here.
Hi, Gail.
Oh, hi, Tracy.
Am I disturbing you?
No, I was just going over next week's schedule. Well, Monica tells me that you're going to be working with Ellen on the new cardiac wing.
I thought I'd give it a whirl.
It's a very worthwhile cause, you know. It's a privilege for anyone to be part of it.
Well, you know, the idea of working is such a novelty to me that I'm sure I'll enjoy it once I know what I'm doing.
I hope you're prepared to work very hard.
Gail, I would love to have lunch or dinner with you sometime when you can arrange it.
Fine. Why don't I call the Harbor Towers one day next week?
I'd love it. You know Monica so well, and I want to find out every detail I can about the newest member of the Quartermain family.
I see. Well, I'm sure whatever you want to know, you can find out from Monica.
Tracy, I'm sorry we're late. We just left the courthouse.
Monica, how did it go?
I have never been so nervous in my entire life. No, it is very awesome to be in front of a grand jury.
I'm sure it is. Had they reached any decision yet?
No, there's no news yet, but it was almost over when we left.
Howard says it's going to take hours for them to deliberate.
Well, I just pray it's the end of this whole horrible experience for Leslie.
Well, here we are. Some nice cold lemonade.
Thank you, Alice.
Can I bring anything else?
Nothing more tonight, thank you very much. Hey, how are you feeling?
Not terrific.
Well, would you like something a little stronger than lemonade?
No, thank you. I want to have a totally clear head when we hear from Howard.
I can't imagine what's keeping him.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear the minute he knows anything.
Did you see Laura at the hospital today?
Yeah, briefly.
How's she holding up?
Oh, she appears to be fine. I know she's worrying, even though she won't talk about it.
I wonder if I'll ever be able to understand her.
Well, first, she's got to be able to understand herself. I'm so glad she's seen Peter.
So am I.
I saw her at the hospital when I was leaving. Oh, I hope Howard calls before she comes home. Rick, it's just all so awful.
Hey, go ahead and let it out. Let it out.
No.
Let it all out.
I can't.
It's good for you.
I can't. If I ever let go, I'm never going to be able to stop.
You know, you are the strongest woman I have ever known in my life.
Just hold me.
Honey, I'm right here. I'm right next to you. You're shaking.
I got cold.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Lanzi. Come on in. The waiters are expecting you.
Thank you, Mrs. Grant. I got here as quickly as I could.
Saturday.
You are Mr. Brezhner's character witnesses?
I have been witnessing this character for 5 years.
Citizen